It's called Voice. It's in the folder called Voices. There's only like one doc, so. Oh yeah.
Which one is it? Oh,
It's
audio. Can we open it? And
Yeah.
look at it?
You good already?
Yeah, sorry. Good.
Right.
Wait, I need to follow.
That's alright. Take your time.
Sorry about this.
No, don't worry. Yeah. How do they work?
I don't know. Free flowing. Alright.
Alright, everyone good? Bracketed proficiency in gender-neutral language. I affirm and value morality. Morality is action guiding, thus moral categories of goodness must account for their action guiding properties. We can only understand moral actions as coherently action guiding if we adopt a principle of moral substitutability. Sidno, Armstrong 1. I have reason for my child. I came to a child like going home will label me to Peter. If there's a reason for me to go home, this is substitutability. If there's a reason for A to X, A cannot do what I'm doing. I'm doing well with A to X, there's a reason for A to Y. We cannot understand moral substitutability with a non-consequentialist theory. Sidno, Armstrong 2. Interlogical reasons made in intelligible theories and explain moral substitutability. What gives me a reason to start them always a consequence to starting them has a consequence that I may move the grass. Any non-consequentialist theory left with two kinds of reasons. One to start the mower and another for mowing the grass. Once these reasons are separated, we need to understand the connection between them, but this connection cannot be explained by the theory. The standard is minimizing existential threats. 4 additional justifications. 1. Career to reward education encourages discussion of cost and analysis of policies, something policymakers often use. 2. Structure of government decision-making requires you to good in. Public officials make choices under certainty. Private individuals have more information on ramification choices to have. Public officials know averages and aggregates to have, and most often that allows policymakers to use to calculus. 3. A main factor that's an example of this on elevation for harms from occurring since the end of the meal. Any ever distinction between acts and missions goes wrong by looking at distinct features of governments and moral agent. Unlike individuals, governments always face the choice that distinction between acts and missions may not be intelligible in this context, but unauthorized private action is not ability to do anything. 4. Turns out the framework says the only way to preserve moral value in the future is to prevent extinction. Bostrom. Warren suggests that our present understanding of axology might be confused. We may not know atoms count as a win for humanity. If we are uncertain about it, we should recognize there's value in preserving our ability to recognize balance through the future. Ensure that there will be a future vision of humanity is the best way to increase the probability that the future will contain a lot of value. Merriam-Webster defines right as something that a person should be legally allowed to have, get, or do. That was the common usage. Just the first result, which comes first because usage dictates towards meanings, also means that predictability, inherency. The U.S. teen pregnancy rate is high. Vibeck, January 2015. The United States is the highest rate of teen pregnancy. U.S. rate of 57% pregnancies per 1,019 years was higher than New Zealand, England, and Wales. More needs to be done to bring down high rates in the U.S. Contention 1. Economy. The U.S. economy is on the brink of collapse. CN, September 14, 2015. We are heading for an ugly decline. The world is advancing in the next market crisis. Global financial crisis is imminent. 23 global stock markets crash. The highest oil has been floating. Currency wars are up to commodities are plunging just like they did prior to 2008. Financial crisis in South America. Junk bonds are sending some very ominous signals. Things unraveled. The Dow was down 162 points. It's going to take much to push into a bear market. Teen pregnancy hurts the economy. Cole Bressler in 2012. Teen pregnancy impacts nation's economy. Less than 2% of mothers under degree. Teen pregnancy destroys education. Leads to loss of means 1/3. Goes to dropouts at early pregnancy. Single dropout costs the nation $260,000. Students dropped out from class of 2011 graduate. Economy would benefit from $154 billion. Police lost earnings and compounded by billions that teen pregnancy costs due to increased healthcare costs. U.S. economic collapse will ensure the U.S.-China war and destroy the world economy. Medo 4. The financial strength of the country will be shaken. Collapsing U.S. economy would damage the rest of the world. U.S. economic might seek power. China is getting political influence. China will clash with the U.S. to keep power off his way out. China benefits from participating in the U.S. economic system. Hostility between the United States and China will cripple China's energy. Inevitably, U.S.-Chinese conflict is less likely. U.S. economic collapse will destroy the planet. Lewis 2K. The United States will fight wars, of course, countries are in within this collapsing economy. These will result in nuclear wars. Countries use the military to maintain the economy. We may see the death of global scale. World War II will pale in comparison. These wars will undermine global economy and its ability to support those people. Global nightmare would be created. Extinction outweighs every other impact. It fits under our framework. Life is prerequisite to all more value. Risk is magnitude times probability. System extinction has infinite magnitude, has infinite risk. That's outweighing every possible impact. Even if it is extremely unlikely that extinction fits under your framework, infinite risk overrides. Contention 2. Crime. U.S. soft power is declining around the world. Simran, September 19, 2015. The perception of the U.S. is tanking U.S. dramatically lost favorability around the world. Jordan hates the U.S. with 83% of respondents holding unfavorable views. Russia is next, central rising in Malaysia, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Teen pregnancy causes crime. TCMJ, no date. Children of teen parents are at high risk for criminal behavior. Children of adolescents and others are high risk for behavioral problems, including aggression. Only 77% of children born to teen mothers complete high school. 10.3% of men born to multi-age 17 younger are incarcerated. Sons of teen mothers are 3 times more likely to be incarcerated. Crime kills soft power. This card's amazing. The author works with the UN. He's the most qualified on how the U.S.'s international reputation is declining. Full. Soft power may not work with the U.S. countries who see enough favorably as a abode of crime and violence. They may complete restore healthy democracy at home as a prelude to democratizing the world. They offer no prescriptions for restoring the health of American body politics. It solves multiple scenarios for extinction. 9. If a nation loses American position, we're likely to persuade them to follow our lead. Legitimacy can reduce opposition, hard power. That's such as pandemic disease and collapse of financial markets are more likely. A nuclear catastrophe will become more likely as the number of nuclear states increases. Climate change raises new threats. States will alienate friends down at greater risk. Solvency. Plan text. The 50 states of the United States of America will give adolescents with the capacity for informed consent the right to make autonomous medical choices regarding abortion. Narl no day clarifies. Mandatory parental laws to end safe parental consent laws require minors to take the consent of parents before abortion. Many of them do turn their parents when considering abortion. Some cannot because of physical violence, because incest, because they fear parental anger, because parental laws do not solve family communication. The exacerbated dangerous situation, women resort to illegal abortions that result in death. I reserve the right to clarify the plan text and CXCBT in terms of default that I made if he doesn't ask. Parental consent laws reduce abortion rate, increasing adolescent birth rates. Tomo, June 1999. The effects of parental consent laws on abortion birth rates are analyzed for teens. Sample consists of 597 counties. Parental consent laws related to low abortion rates and higher birth rates for teens. Peer-reviewed studies conclude that parental consent laws reduce abortion rates, increasing fertility rates. Earthlet, March 2011. Study evaluated every state parental consent laws lower abortion rates. Parental involvement laws reduce abortion rates by 15%. Study now found a substantial body back in the military and the loss cut abortions. Parental involvement laws reduce abortions 31%. Loss cut abortions by 50%. Prefer. One study that all states correctly analyzes the fact that federal legislation have your evidence. All states. 2 peer-reviewed studies are more likely to accurate. X received 1953. Late review means that my states take account still firms that flows next. Skip that card. Underview. One impact called existential risk outweighs structural violence. The math proves it. Bostrom. The essential loss of existential catastrophes greater than the value of 10 to 60 human lives. This implies the expected value of reducing existential risk by a mere 1 millionth of 1% is less than 100 times the value of a million human lives. Even the tiniest reduction of existential risk has an expected value greater than that of any ordinary ghost, which is the direct benefit of saving 1 billion lives. No neg RBI. 1. A destroyed my theory to read a 1 error that you can collapse in the NR1 key to combat time 2 and split the NR so that you can't sit on only should be instead of you to be super abusive and then so you can just go for the RBI and the 2 NR. You can not truly abusive positions in the NR just by virtue of the time to see. There's no way the N2 error can be back in RBI as good dip and when the counter interpreting 1 error theory, a game over for the AFD destroys something in education. You are incentivized to be abusive, then collapse the theory towards RBI 2. All theory interprets all T interprets mostly disclosed on the NDC wiki at least an hour before the round. A solves back for the abuse. I won't make the argument in the first place. I think that is key to substantive education. B key to predictability. I uniquely need to know the T interprets that I can get a definition in order to have a competitive counter. I can't engage if it's not disclosed. 3. This you can look over my shoulder. All theory is a clarified process. If I read an AC that doesn't repeat the abusive, I should understand the spirit of the interpretation. 6. A reciprocity. If I don't buy, I can expect the shell before the round. Then I will understand the shell perfectly. I won't be able to have a discussion with the shell. B resolvable. The I must make debate run resolvable. C just solved by make me concede the violation. Allow me to clarify that it means substantive education. Providing a theory debate lets us debate the topic. Thus I affirm.
Okay, get my timer out, sorry.
I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Does no neg RBI apply to you as well?
The warrants in the spike are specific to why the neg shouldn't get RBIs, but you can make arguments for why the affirmative should.
So you don't take a stance on that?
I don't take the stance on it.
Okay. And also your disclosure thing. Why does the T interp have to be disclosed, but not the AC?
Right, so the issue is that with T interps, there's a unique, there are 2 warrants in the spike that are specific to T interps. The first warrant is that it's all about career abuse. T is about creating a norm or about saying that one part of the AC is abusive. However, if you disclose it, I can just take out the abusive part of the AC. This isn't applied to the app because the app is not claiming the negative.
Doesn't this just make apps be a non-topical and then just super frontline T interps?
I'm confused. Why would that happen?
Okay, that's fine. I'll just make that argument. Yeah. Let's go to your just the offense.
There's
right?
Another warrant for why it's specific to
It's
T.
fine. Let's go to your offense. So you say that the U.S. teen pregnancy rate is high, and to solve that, we need to not have pregnancy, right? So I don't understand how autonomous consent, right, for abortion means that all teenagers will get abortions.
I'm not saying that all teenagers get
sure,
abortions,
but
but
doesn't your depend on them all getting abortions?
No, it depends on the majority getting abortions. The majority of teen pregnancies are unplanned. I don't read that evidence in the AC. I have it, and I can read it in the 1AR if it is necessary. But the majority of teen pregnancies are unplanned, meaning that they would get an abortion. If
we look at your first contention, you say that the economy is going to collapse, right?
Yeah.
So let's look at your cult wrestler evidence. You say that it costs money. It costs $154 billion.
Yeah.
Why is the economy not collapsed already?
Right, because it wasn't on the brink. Right now it's on the brink. That's the CN September 14, 2015 card, which is talking about the economy that...
This just says that global financial crisis is imminent. Why does it indicate right now we're on the brink? Why wasn't it
the meaning of the word imminent means that it's about to happen right now. So that would be the brink.
I don't understand. Okay, so that's fine.
The card's pretty clear about it.
Where does what is the brink? How much money did you spend to pass this brink?
I don't think you understand how financial markets work. People don't calculate the exact number of dollars we need to spend. Economics can never be that precise. All we can know is that financial markets are very, very risky right now, and they are on the edge of tipping over. That means that harms to the economy would tip over.
So what about other spending that the American government does? Why wouldn't that trigger the brink? Isn't the brink just inevitable then?
I don't think that would trigger the brink.
Why? Why is abortion equally key?
Right, that's the cult wrestler. It talks about how abortion is teen pregnancy.
That just says it hurts the economy. What about other things that hurt the economy? Why isn't the brink inevitable?
Well, okay, if that was true, then economic collapse would have happened so many times earlier, right?
I don't understand.
Because
you just say teen pregnancy hurts the economy. Where do you say that teen pregnancy uniquely will hurt the economy? That's the only thing that will cause the brink to happen.
Right. even if other things can cause the brink to happen, that is empirically denied, given that if other things could push us over the multiple brinks that have already happened, we would have already gone extinct and the economic collapse would
in
have happened.
status quo, right?
Yeah.
Why are we not like in economic collapse?
Because right now we are uniquely on the brink.
Okay, that's just like, that's fine. And then your crime evidence indicates that soft power is key to solve like nuclear conflict, but where do you indicate that pregnancy uniquely, or teen pregnancy like is key to soft power? Like where's like the strength?
Right, so the link chain is that teen pregnancy causes crime because the children, you want me to finish?
Yeah.
Okay, because the teen pregnancy causes crime because the children of teen mothers are A, less likely to complete high school, and are B, less likely to be incarcerated, which is increasing crime rates. And then the Falk evidence talks about how crime rates decrease soft power because it makes the international image of the U.S. seem as it look like they're an abode of crime and violence, so people aren't likely to listen to them. And then the Nye evidence talks about why a loss of soft power would cause extinction.
Okay, and then how much prep do we have?
I think it's 4 billion.
Yeah.
4? Okay. Sorry. $127. I'm just saving it.
Okay.
And then there's analytics. I might just like fudge them because like some of them are like not like I'll just like analytically like restate the analytics. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Because like yeah.
I'll just flow the extent stuff. Don't worry about it.
Got you.
What's the order?
It's 1 to 2. 1 off AC? Yeah, 1 off AC. Sorry, I'm a little one.
Don't worry about it. It's early.
Not that early, but okay. I'm just gonna eject it. It's called 1 in R round 1. Or 1 in series.
1 and blank.
Okay, let's hope it works because I ejected it improperly.
Okay. Don't worry, I've done that so many times.
Actually, write down the 127.
Okay.
And then on AC, I might go from the cards to the analytics, but I'll just show us how to go. Sorry. You ready?
Yeah.
patient autonomy or ableist hoe away. The discussion regarding autonomy focus on the capacity of the patient. There's freedom of external fruition for discussion about brain patient autonomy, talk back, literature, neglect of social structure within healthcare decision, make the social system ableist ideological behavior, areas forms of pressure, oppressive power, and effect ability to choose such power structure that alternatives in a way that certain option never considers viable. Instead of only focusing on individual decision making, we need to pay attention to the social structure that makes people decision and ableism operates the master trope, illuminating the fundamental tactic of oppression of natural position, social inferiority as a biological difference. Seepers, no day. The representation of inferiority is always in fact the appearance of the body and the way the body makes other bodies feel in disability, oppression, the physical and mental properties of the body, socially constructed through disqualifying effects, racism disqualifies on the basis of race, including justification of the inferiority, certain skin color, sexism disqualifies on the basis of sex, dark representation of inferiority, classism disqualifies on the inferior, genealogical status, ableism disqualifies on the basis of mental physical differences first, selecting and stigmatizing the disabilities, racism, sexism, classism fall away slowly for justification of human inferiority, the critiques these prejudices prove powerful laws, examples of how to fight oppression, the prejudice against disability reigns in full force until we reach a historical moment. We know how much of the social constructed disability represents the final frontier, justifiable human inferiority. The impact is exclusion. Ableism results in total exclusion. Disabled bodies declare that anyone disabled by society, not just the physically or mentally divergent. For this reason, ableism comes before all impacts generated from traditional liberal philosophy, Breckenridge and Volcker 1. By assuming the normative human disabled body, liberal body can inflate interest with the direct representation of voice, organization, voluntary association, so the person at the center of the traditional liberal theory is able body. However, the mere possibility is really cognitive disabled person exists in a disruptive liberal equation advocacy for people with severe cognitive disabilities and no matter voicing their demands. And the next impact is racism. The deviance disability from normality is the root cause of racism as well. Both can never be solved in normal or values in many are 13. Lopez explains racist genesis and maintains vigorous strength in the realm of social beliefs. Garnet Thompson describes disability as a product of cultural growth, but what body should be or do racist disability are both relational concepts. Davis points out that our construction of no morals based on the radical repression of disability because without the monstrous body to demarcate the border of the generic taxonomies of value would collapse. The alternative is an interruption of ableist epistemology, the Foucaultian discourse analysis. The alternative is the only way to discover the roots of ableism and pretend is future production. Campbell 3. The danger otherwise is to continue with a reproductive dominant discourse that represent people with disabilities or passive items lacking agency. Discourse analysis, primary epistemological interruption. Foucault explains the experience of power progressively creates knowledge. Knowledge constantly includes effects of power. Foucault's method of discourse analysis enables an examination of the way disabilities put in a discourse. First by examining the textual level of the way disabilities put in a specific narrative. Secondly, at discursive levels possible to reveal patterns related to the representation normative concrete ontologies and require what has been excluded or considered marginal. And the role of judge being an inclusive educator and concerned with it, including the disabled body, no cell, inclusive educators, knowledge, inclusion of students with disabilities, indeed different. Inclusive education must take up the challenge for social justice, not reproduce the very systemic oppression, systemic impose inclusive education, strive to discuss all, but the result must need detail in the students' personal experiences. People are different physically, mentally, and those differences not be disregarded, including medication. The developing an inclusive philosophy will not make success in learning environment. The current U.S. education system is individualistic and compatible with normal society. Inclusive education has recently become more inclusion for people with disabilities involved to become an intersection philosophy and revolutionary concept for promotion of inclusion of all identities. This for the reason that while inclusive educating is an umbrella movement, there's still to be particular pedagogy that advocates and provides a platform. There were people with disabilities, therefore the right of disability pedagogy. Skip the next card. Let's go to the AC first. I'll concede the YouTube number. Let's go to her person that she says that the U.S. economy is currently in collapse and that more spending will trigger this collapse. This is ridiculous. The fact that there's infinite spending in the United States and in the status quo, there's more spending that is greater than the abortion in the status quo. She says it will only cost $169 billion. There's spending the United States does in the status quo that is more, which means the impact is at any point is either it's not needed because the impact is going to happen. We're going to this economic collapse. Which means there's no point in solving it, or the actions will actually solve the impact because even if we solve abortion, there's still multiple other instances of spending that will still trigger the economic collapse. So even if we do the app, it doesn't actually trigger the impact. Also, she says team pregnancy hurts the economy. There's no reason why this is key to the economy. The only argument she makes is that it costs $260,000 and that it spends money. That doesn't matter. The United States spends money all the time. This is empirically not because we haven't had an economic collapse ever. Even in 2008, even until the labor recession, we came back from that, which means that her impact's not going to happen. Let's go to crime. She her Falk indicates that crime, that soft power is key, and crime decreases that soft power. And her link evidence is really bad. And all she says is that teen pregnancy increased crime. 8 years that she advocates that all the teenagers will actually choose to have abortion, which won't actually happen because they get the autonomous choice. Which means her strength link is really weak. Or so Aaron egg on this, and she also doesn't say why
scientifically, abortion leads to the decrease in soft power. The Falk evidence just indicates that crime is one of the instances that decreases soft power. There's something that soft power will just go away and will have these impacts. So you can reject her impact because the strength link is really terrible. And let's read some cards. Adolescents get an abortion without parental consent through judicial bypass through the status quo solved. Freeman 1215, pregnant minors can obtain an abortion without parental consent. Judicial bypass procedure in 38 states. Data was collected from Jane Doe evaluation of media and Metropolitan Juvenile Court Psychiatric Clinic over 3 years. Vast majority, 95%, were granted judicial bypass. That is often trusted adults with their pregnancy. They're not parents are due concerned about being excluded. The study presents the first comprehensive description of characteristics of minors seeking judicial bypass for abortion. This means that in the status quo, minors can already get abortion. So even if she proves in her next speech that abortion is uniquely key, the status quo solves no reason for the act to actually happen. And the act failure recognizes the overlapping forms of oppression result from sexism that makes right-wing anti-abortion causes stronger turns. Hurricanes, anti-palindrome 15, anti-choice activists have arrived from the pro-life debate about failures from gender oppression and racism. They've taken advantage of protest movement, failure to confront the violence waged against people of color, folks with disabilities, and working class folks throughout history. The right-wing is exploiting feminists, focus on single issue structures, struggles instead of intersecting oppression, and not acknowledging racist history of abortion makes the pro-choice movement inaccessible to those who need it most. The impact is racism. Cole Wrestler 13, the nearly 1900 Marcus Sanger aligned herself with the eugenics movement. The movement sought to cultivate a nation of genetically superior by advocating folks of color, folks with visible and mental disabilities, folks in low-income brackets, be eradicated from the gene pool by forced abortion. Margaret Sanger's said birth control would ultimately lead to a cleaner race. One on record by saying this: we need to exterminate the black race. The pro-choice movement has never officially inaugurated historical affiliation with the eugenics movement. When patients under claim with pamphlets of racist Margaret Sanger codes made sense to people lose trust. Racism impacts being grouped as right for eyes. This also links under her usual impacts because the racism affects a majority of people. So outweighs a magnitude because it affects many American stats will also use to prefer probability over or extinction impacts because it actually affects the most Americans. It prevents zero policymaker because policymakers only look so that you can close on the extinction. If policymakers only look to extinction errors, will never actually solve any problems because they only there's a number of extinction errors. So this raise the abolishment evidence indicates that policymakers shouldn't actually be the ones to do look to extinction errors because they always look to extinction errors, never look at the problems that affect every day. And yeah, so basically, status quo solves, no reason for that. Strength links are really bad in the contentions, and you should prefer probability impacts, so you prefer impacts like racism.
Alright, let me get my timer out.
No problem.
Alright, so whatever, I'll just say. Okay. Let's go through the links. Explain to me how the first link is specific to the app.
It's specific to your notion of autonomy, right?
What is my notion of autonomy? It doesn't really seem like I'm endorsing any type of autonomy.
Yeah, you endorse the idea that adolescents should be able to make an autonomous decision, but
so making decisions is the link?
Making autonomous decisions, right?
Right, but where do I defend a liberalist account of autonomy? I'm not saying autonomy is good because of freedom or whatever. I'm saying autonomy is good because it's preventing extinction. It seems like this link is misunderstanding the
No, so the argument is that you would give adolescents adolescent patients the autonomy, right? So that idea is bad. So even your impact.
So the idea of giving someone autonomy is a problem.
In terms of in terms of the mental sphere.
So wouldn't that mean that adults making autonomous decisions is also bad?
I don't understand the question.
If patient autonomy is the issue, that seems non-unique given that adults also make autonomous decisions.
Right? That's just a status. Sure, the problem's the status quo. That's fine.
Okay, sure. All right, so let's go to the second link. Explain to me the second link.
I didn't read the second link.
Oh, you didn't read it. Okay, perfect.
No, it's the Sievers evidence.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just an impact.
Oh, wait, what's the impact?
So it just says that ableism comes first because it operates. It hides other forms of oppression. Right?
How does it hide other forms of oppression?
So the warrant in the card is that the people see disabled people as inferior, and that inferiority is the root cause of oppression, right? So the idea is that they see it references other forms of racism or other forms of oppression, and it says that ableism disqualifies on the basis of not having some quote unquote physical or mental ability, right? So that the argument is that it operates under it causes more oppression.
Okay, sure. Let's go with the alt. How does the alt solve?
Sure. Sorry, I was going to. So the only way to stop this ableist methodology is to actually interrupt that.
So you say to interrupt the epistemology. What does that mean? Does that mean that Arjun just interrupts it in his mind? Does that mean that we fiat that everyone starts thinking in this way?
Sure. In this round, it would mean that think about why the ableism exists. Why the actual oppression status quo exists.
So we just think about why. So we think about why ableism exists.
No.
That's the alt.
The argument is that to interrupt that. That method interrupts it, right? So
what method interrupts it? Thinking about ableism?
Sure. It's not thinking about ableism. It's interrupting how it starts. So that not
How do we
about-
interrupt how ableism starts?
So you like you're oversimplifying it, right? So you are thinking about it, but you're thinking about like why we are ableist in the first place, or why we think that there's a physical or mental.
So are you
disability.
fiating that everyone is thinking about it, or is it just the judge?
The alternative is not dependent on like post-fiat impacts. Like
Right, okay, so what is the, like, I'm confused about the alt. Does the alt mean that, like, the judge wouldn't be doing the interruption? Who is doing the interruption?
I mean, like hopefully all three of us, right? So like
How
we'll
do
contextualize
the
it.
three of us thinking about ableism solve for all of ableism? Like,
That's
how do
the
we
same
solve
thing.
for
Like
the
how
root
does
cause of all
your
of
like
it?
fiat is illusory? How does your AF solve for like extinction, right? So like
Okay, so then you
we
can
should-
see that, okay, so
we
you
should
can, okay, that's just
contextualize
not
it to
okay,
the
sure.
debate space
Okay,
because debate
sure.
is like
Okay, sure, cool. Alright, so, starting here. Starts with alt.
Unconditional.
One of six left, order is going to be KAC. Let me just check the USB.
Sounds great.
Great. It like turned gray, but it's not.
Floaty camera on color. That's so cool.
It always happens to me with like theory. Whenever like it's a theory round, I float in the wrong color.
Yeah, just like pick up the wrong pen.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. When I always like reject it, it's like failure to reject correctly.
I always have to force eject. I never like ejects it normally.
Is it in voices again?
Yeah. It's called like one
I
hour
actually
or
did.
something like
That's
that.
cool.
What?
I actually did here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really care. Okay. So order is going to be KAC. Everyone good?
Yeah.
Off the turn the link 1, the app is shift away from guardian decision makers that is net better for the disabled. Miller 06. The emotional connections family can be dangerous for an incompetent person. Also, able persons cannot understand the subjective experience of the disabled personal views and prejudices of the able body before the decision making surrogate. They have before someone treatment on the patient applying best to analysis to report normative views that what constitutes quality of life. These views could concept like dignity would have little meaning to this incompetent persons. Turn guardian decision making is bad. Results in coercion. The app shifts away. U of M. A significant percentage of elderly patients are physically and mentally okay. These conditions can contribute to helplessness, which make the elderly patients local to be unduly interfered. It is important that healthcare teams and families listen to the patients that are really seeing the value of mental health. Even men's family members might be too quick to label a patient incompetent. And the law needs to be changed for actual change. Low below 7. To create law ability to produce changes raises the question of alternatives is made, but the respect between these laws and also optimistic discipline in order without laws and privileges strong marginalized groups use legal reform because they lack power to decide the limitations of groups that often actually secure their interests. We can look from access and failures of past models constantly redefined boundaries of legal reform, constantly redefining without boundaries of legal form means linked to the functions, linked to the K, because the only way to actually combat the power structure of the disabled base is to give them the autonomy, is to give them autonomous choice. I'm not endorsing autonomous choice as a way to exclude disabled bodies. In fact, I'm granting it to everyone, meaning that the disabled also get to make their own decisions, to ensure that they're not coerced by their guardians and ensure that they have more, that they have greater autonomy, more terms. 3, even with the relation of model of autonomy is good. That's just a reason why parents should consult with their relatives or caregivers before making a decision. Final decision should still lie in the hands of the patient. Anything else will frame the disabled choice over their bodies as less important simply because the disabled for the challenges the very notions of rationality that cause ableism by extending the right to make decisions. Current prohibitions rely on the assumptions about the rationality of adolescents that parallel the assumptions about disabled that form oppressive power structure. I open this model and instead prove a more overarching definition of rationality to include all. No link their conception of autonomy is incorrect. All the aftermath is letting the ultimate decision lie in the hands of the patient. The disabled are certainly not a suitable conception of autonomy. The link is not app specific. It is just talking about autonomy as a whole. The issue is that the app is not defending a specific conception of autonomy. I'm not defending Kantian autonomy. I'm defending a legal right, which means I'm defending letting patients make their own decisions, which definitely does not link it to your concept of autonomy. 5, the term the app is right to disabled patients as well, which means it empowers them to make their own decisions to the best of their ability. The app says that disabled people can access the mode of autonomy the same way everyone else can. Just because autonomy has been historically used badly does not mean that it will continue to use badly. You cannot make claims about the intent of the app. 6, turn the app is to increase the amount of control that disabled have over their bodies. Traditional caretakers and parents make their decisions for them. Now go to the link itself. Again, over to the link. The issue is that this link is not specific to app at all. He only reads the Hovens, which says that the word autonomy, the conception of autonomy is ableist. Again, I'm not defending this ableist conception of autonomy. I'm just defending letting people make their own decisions. Now go to the role of the ballot. After you go to the alt. Over to all the issues that the alt has 0 solvents. He is saying that the 3 of us should deconstruct ableism. That does not do anything to solve actual ableism in the real world. The only way to actually solve ableism is pass laws to change ableism. I outweigh on actually causing real world change. That means you can weigh the offense coming off the case, and you can weigh out the link turn. You can weigh the case against the you can weigh the case against the alt and perm. The alt perm will double bind. Either A the alt cancel back for all the other instances. Do the app and the alt together. Either A the app the alt can solve back for all the other instances of ableism in society, in which case it can solve back for the residual ableism left over after we do the app, or B the alt cannot solve back for all those residual racism in instances in which case it would never been strong enough to solve anyways. Now we're the role of valid. 1. The judge should value the hypothetical consequences of the plan. A. He to rule decision making skills and legal activism. Coverstone. Citizens bear the obligation to be able to govern shooting the motivation for personal political activism, law, relative efficiency of concrete political strategies, proposal changes, debating contests. Teaches students to combine personal experience with language, political power, personal narrative, connected state political power, rightly called to look for the state of the union with personal stories used to support political engine, promoting towards learning, vocabulary, power, the ability to own arguments, influence government actions on the great issues, academic card. This means that I always role that control the internal link to having real world change because I'm teaching because to speak and learning the language of power teaches how to actually in real life acknowledge the oppressive power, structures and become the lawyers who are defending the disabled in this oppressive system as opposed to just talking about it, which isn't actually going to do anything now. I go to the AC extend the AC offense now. Add-on. 1. Giving women the right to control their bodies is key to breaking down sexism. Philip Ovick in 2012. Winner of the best people decided they get pregnant. Actually, skip that part now. Go to the solvency evidence deficiency makes that medical bypass is not solved because it still takes a really long time, which means that at least they won't be able to get an abortion. So it means that you don't have any, which means that the app is still uniquely key because on all adolescents cannot get medical bypasses. It takes really long and requires consent of an adult.
Okay. My pen just ran out, so I'm just gonna grab it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Did you not read the can we start?
Yeah, I didn't read the full copy.
Got it. 127, I believe. 127, yeah.
ACK.
Oh, found it. Okay.
Where are the pen problems today?
Yeah, okay, I'm here. Okay, found it.
I'm not reading anything new, so
Okay, yeah.
I'm just like here to watch. I'm just getting to the last one.
Yeah.
Start the argument that says that the abortion take a long time. First of all, she has no evidence to prove that biometric actually takes a long time. Second, my evidence indicates that 95% of abortions in the stats were already granted by neutral biometric. The entire AC offense to solve this is extremely important because she doesn't extend any of her AC offense in the last speech, meaning that this is a reason to vote for the negative because the affirmative plan is not needed. Also, she concedes all the turns in the AC. This is especially damning for her. She concedes the first turn that says that it creates a right-wing backlash, meaning the problem of abortion stats won't actually be solved because it should make the right-wing opposition to abortion even stronger, which is harms any future opportunities for these women to get abortion. Also, she concedes the race in terms of the pro-choice movement is actually inaccessible to the race because it doesn't look to its past history of racism. This is especially damning for her because she concedes that the AF is racist. This is a turn in the AF and a reason to vote for the negative. She also concedes all the arguments against her first and second intention. There's literally no way she can win on the AC flow. The extinction scenarios are not going to happen. So if the K debate is mild, this is a place to vote for the negative. Let's go to her answers on the K. She first says the AF is shifted away from the Guardian decision making for the disabled, but she misunderstands the K itself. I'm just saying the AF policy blends a notion of autonomy. Disabled people can't even access because it just says that you're disabled, you should just lift yourself off your bootstraps, make your own medical decision. That is exactly what the K is saying, and she just says that they can make their own decision. But that's ignoring the problem the K is addressing. The problem is that the notion of autonomy says that these disabled people should just fix their own problems when that excludes them, which means that the AF policy won't actually help the disabled people. So don't let her say that they'll be able to make their own medical decision. Because the notion of autonomy prevents them from making medical decisions. So that's a turn to her first argument. She next says that the Guardian decision-making results in coercion of the disabled people. But I'm not saying that the action of the AF is bad. It's just that the notion of autonomy, they say that they should make autonomous decision-making is bad. So she just says that this argument doesn't apply because it's only saying that the AF forces disabled people to have the autonomous decision. That idea is bad. So this argument only talks about the current state in the stats. She next says that the law needs to be changed in order legal form is better. 8 point hasn't solved the stats because he still impacts the stats, but haven't solved even through multiple centuries of legal reform. We haven't seen these problems solved because you can look at racism as empirical proof. The problem of racism solved is even though we have multiple legal reform, we have the civil rights, we have the legal reform. That is not the solution to the problem. So reject any legal reform. You have to interrupt the idea itself. You have to the policymakers must interrupt the idea before they even have the promotion. The K functions before the affirmative plan. Before we can still have legal reform, but we just need to have an epistemology, a change in epistemology first. I mean that we need to prioritize the K before the affirmative. Next, she says that she's challenging the notions of ableism in the stats. She's misunderstanding the K. She defends the resolution of gender principle. When she says the policy will be the disabled people should make their own autonomous decision. That is the link to the criticism. She is not challenging the notion of ableism. She's reinforcing them because she's saying that even though you're disabled, you should make your own autonomous decision. That is just reinforcing the status quo. The issues in status quo. Next, she says she leaves the ultimate decision to the disabled, but she's conflating decision making, the decision making of the disabled people and the actual AF policy. The AF policy, the rhetoric in the AF policy is what I'm criticizing. She is saying that they have the ultimate decision. That is misunderstanding the criticism. They're saying they don't have the ultimate decision because they can't access that decision. That they are harmed from the idea of autonomy. They can't access the end decision. So you can reject all of her arguments. The arguments are very similar, but she misses the entire point of the criticism. Her next argument is that she increases control of their own bodies, but this is not. This is basically the same argument. She's just saying that she says that her only argument is that. Her only argument is that disabled people can control their own bodies, but that is not what she's advocating for. She's advocating for autonomous decision, which they cannot access. That is the whole aid evidence. Next, she says the link is not specific to her definition, but she defends the resolution. The abortion policy would pass as an autonomous decision making. So the whole aid card still applies. It's saying that the ideas of patient autonomy are ableist in the medical sphere specifically. So don't let her delink. Next, she says that either the alternative doesn't solve or the or the perm salty. Perm is severance from the AC because she defends autonomy. So you can reject severance because that just makes the alpha moving target. Never allows me to base my NC strategy because she defends autonomous in the AC. Next she says that we have to look towards the hypothetical consequences of the plan. The role of judge is to look at the consequences of the plan. 8th point here is that the only way to solve the issues in status quo is if you as a judge look to what is causing these consequences, what is causing these problems in status quo, not just looking at the consequences. We got just looking over the problems in the status quo which are not being addressed. The affirmative does not address the current problems in the status quo. It is why you should be an inclusive educator in today's round. And the only argument she says you must look to the consequences of the plan, but this is especially damning because you're not looking at the consequences of the plan because she doesn't extend any AC offense, which means that she doesn't link out her own role of battle. I'm the only one defending my role of battle because the role of battle is for you to look to be an inclusive educator and look to the what is causing the problems in the status quo. The round breaks down really simply. So, if the K debate is muddled, you can easily vote in the AC because there's 3 turns conceded. Don't let me bring up the next speech. There's racism, there's the pro-choice movement is inaccessible, and there's right-wing backlash. Also, the status quo stalls, which means that there's no reason the policy should be passed There's no reason the abortion policy should be passed because 95% of women are already granted abortion. So even if her links are true, status quo stalls, which means there's no extinction impacts. That takes out the entirety of the AC offense. So don't let her bring up anything on the AC in the next speech unless she brings up the judicial bypass procedure. The K is really simple. All of her arguments misunderstand the criticism itself. She just says that, well, they can make their own decisions, but I'm criticizing the idea that you're putting ableist notions in the policy itself. So they can't make their own decisions because they cannot access the policy because it says the word autonomy just allows disabled people to lift themselves off their bootstraps and solve their medical issues.
106 left. Order's going to be overview. Okay, the overview is going to start on the cover story. Everyone good? Overview of the round. Jack has made a couple of damning concessions that are going to cost him the right and extend the coverstone evidence. His biggest mistake is mishandling the coverstone evidence. He thinks the coverstone evidence means that we evaluate the extinction impacts. That's not true. The coverstone evidence means that we look at the consequences of the plan, which means we look at concrete change. If I win the coverstone evidence, this means that we have to look at concrete policy change first. Given that the alt is not a concrete policy change, this is obviously a mindset change. This is a means to auto-affirm. If I win coverstone, you auto-affirm. So go to coverstone. Extend the weighing underneath coverstone, which shows that I control the internal having any solvency. Fine. Even if it's important that we challenge the epistemology, the issue is that you have no solvency auto because even if we challenge the epistemology, we can't create any real world strength. Coverstone controls the internal ever having any real world strength because I'm giving you the skills that are necessary so that we can become the lawyers that actually defend the disabled in court. We can become the policymakers that actually implement policies that affect the disabled. This is obviously going to have much more solvency than just the 3 of us thinking about ableism, which is that definitely outweigh. Even if you don't like the weighing, it was conceded. No, it was conceded. Which is that if you can't have a nice shot resolving the world about it, you have to prefer the conceded. Weighing, even if the terms against the app are true. He does not defend a concrete policy action, which means that under Coverstone you auto-affirm. Okay, now the second damning concession. The second damning concession is he has conceded the 4th term that even if the relational model of autonomy is good, that's just a reason why patients should consult with their relatives. Final decision should still land in the hands of the patient. Anything else would frame the disabled choice over their own bodies as less important simply because they are disabled. He is saying that I misunderstand the link to the K. The issue is the link to the K is just saying that it's hard for disabled people to access autonomy. That's okay. That just means that they should consult with their caretaker. That does not mean that the caretaker should be allowed to coerce them. The caretaker should have the final say. The disabled people should have a final say in their body. You are phrasing it. You are making it. Your rhetoric very specifically is saying that disabled people's choices don't matter simply because they are disabled. Your rhetoric is saying that because people are disabled, they should not have access to control of their own bodies. They should be excluded from the entire decision-making process. This is the main issue. I do not link it to the AC. He's referencing the rhetoric of the AC. The rhetoric of the AC does not talk about autonomy. The rhetoric of the AC talks about decision-making. There is a distinction. Even resolutions, decision making. I defend the Plantex, which is not talking about a conception of autonomy. I'm simply talking about I'm not talking about the conception of autonomy. I'm simply talking about letting people make their own decisions, just keep preventing coercion, extend all the terms about coercion again and again. He just says that disabled people can't access that. Fine, that just means that they should consult with their caretakers. That does not mean that they should have no say across at all. In the status quo, the disabled people do not have any say in their medical choices at all. That is obviously coercive because guardians can coerce them, which means that I definitely outweigh. Now go to the perm. The perm all double blind. He has mishandled the perm. This is going to be a damning loss for him because the KL doesn't really survive when the perm. I win the entire round. His only argument is that the perm is severed. This is not true. The perm is not severed. The perm is do the alpha, do the net. How am I severing from anything? The perm is saying there's no DH to the perm at all. He does not make any arguments about DAs. He does not make arguments about the DAs to the perm. And given the fact that he has conceded a bunch of no link arguments, this means that there's definitely no link to the decay, which means that there's no subject to the perm. Right? The issue is that he is trying to contextualize his K as being specific to the alpha, but it is not. Right? I'm defending a Utah law, not a Kant. I'm talking about why autonomy is important. I'm simply saying that letting people make their own choices is a pretty good thing. He has conceded that, and he has conceded reasons for why the K only means that parents should be involved. That does not mean that you negate, right?
Can I see the link evidence for the K? Actually, can you email this to me? The link evidence for the K, and the terms you read on the case. My email address is arjuntambe1@gmail.
Just the terms, not the status quo stall stuff.
The right-wing backlash, status quo stalls, and makes pro-choice movement less accessible for black people.